How we doing, everybody? My name's AJ Risley. I'm joined in the commentary booth by the one and only Nate Perkins. And we've got the San Francisco Open for you. Look at these beautiful shots, Nate. How we doing?
Doing great, AJ. Really happy to be here. We've got an absolute dream card.
Yes, we do. Eagle McMahon, Paul McBeth, Seppo Payu, Ricky Wysocki.
I mean,
let's just dive right in.
Absolutely,
Hole
dude.
one. Tell me about it. What do we got?
These players are going to get to open up. I mean, some of these players are probably thinking eagle opportunity right here on the first hole.
Oh, yeah.
640 feet to the pin.
There is OB on the left side over the cart path that's way over there. And then those bushes that you can see on the right, those are actually out of bounds too. So
it definitely requires you to think. You have to get the angle right. Hyzering out left is probably the...
It's a common mistake. But Paul takes a nice little hyzer flip almost to flat over that bush line on the right. That's a great conservative play.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think that was a pretty conservative shot from Paul. Looks like Eagle's lining up something pretty big.
Yes.
Starts this one out way wide.
Wow. And it's flexing
Wow.
out perfectly. What the heck?
Is that pin high?
That's close. I mean, this hole is what, 668 according to UDisc Live stats. And I mean, I didn't.
What a way to start a round, though, just to rip like that. I mean, that was 100 feet past any drive that I've ever seen on that hole.
And Rick getting past that white stake in the middle of the fairway, that's 200 to the pin, so that was a smash as well. Seppo going beat up D2. Oh. And I think
Looks
that,
like he's made the mistake.
Yeah, that's found the OB. So he's throwing 3 from here. Going to go with the A2 sidearm. And this is a pretty interesting green. It slopes away down to the right, guarded by a bunch of big trees. Seppo's in circle 1.
Yeah, there's a few different gaps that you can hit, and we might as well bring this up now that
Sure.
the size of the trees here and the scale of everything is different than anything that we've seen on tour. So
oh yeah.
I know a lot of players were having trouble with the kind of the depth perception.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Especially with the way we're playing on pretty much the side of a hill.
Mm-hmm.
So these first few holes, just looking down at everybody else on the course, it's like, oh, they're little ants.
Yeah.
They're little ants down there on hole 7.
You feel like a little ant when you're out here.
Jeez, and this is where Eagles Drive landed.
I mean, he's just
Enormous.
pin high putting right down at it.
Got to be he had to have thrown that at least 600 feet.
A little rollaway is going to give him a little 20-foot tester. You can just hear the wind ripping.
Yeah.
This is just one of those courses.
Nice. Circle's edge for birdie.
Great putt. But this is just one of those courses where it feels like it's always windy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just constantly, no matter where
There's
you are, there's some
yeah.
sort of wind swirling.
Right. And even watching the FPO live yesterday, yeah, the wind was starting to pick up in the morning. Great putt from Paul from, what, about 36?
Yeah, outside circle 1, right to left wind. One of the more difficult winds to face for a hyzer putter.
Right. And I know it's said often, but it's like these, wow, great putt. These are the putts you want on the first hole of the tournament. Really, circle's edge just to get you started feeling good. And I got to give a shout out to one of my card mates yesterday, Anthony Perea.
Did you see it?
He threw it in.
Come on, how far?
He threw it in from, I mean, I was doing the UDisc Live. It was at least 260, 270.
Oh,
Nice.
Eagle with the rip, catches the shades.
Yeah, that was huge. Good save by Seppo, though. The lone par, still a good save from an OB drive. And then on to hole 2. Somewhere, let's see.
370-foot par 3. You got
Yes,
OB
sir.
right the whole way, so you're going to be carrying OB. You need to hyzer just low the branches, just in front of that big cedar on the right.
Elevated basket. Not too many of them out here, but this one, the green's wide open enough. Not as much challenge, and so we got an elevated basket, folks.
Pushing forward on that hyzer.
Oh, and he catches one of those little pines.
Catches early. He's going to have a pretty obstructed putt from the bottom of that hill.
And he might be circle's edge, you know, within a decent range, but definitely obstructed, like you said.
And that's kind of the conservative play on this hole, is to just hyzer to that hillside left and leave yourself the circle's edge putt back at the pin.
And at this point, the wind is just just ripping at their backs, just straight tailwind. So anything that's hung out too far to the right is going to get pushed down. Has a really good chance of staying out of bounds. So you see all these guys taking these tight inside lanes. That's a pretty smart call for them.
Zeppelin blasting that hyzer past the pin.
Yeah, it's good commitment.
Wow, that must be windy.
Decent. It's a smart decision.
He
So
didn't
yeah,
even
here's
think about it.
Here's Macbeth.
Oh, wow.
I had a feeling. I had to, you know, when he hit that tree, I was like, I walked past that tree yesterday. It's not that far from the basket. It's still within Macbeth reach. Yes.
Wow. Seppo with a little spinner from the knee.
Right, with that branch in his face.
These are not
Good
easy
start.
putts. These
No,
guys
not
are
at all.
knocking down putts early.
I mean, Eagle was pretty smart to lay up from where he was. I mean, elevated basket, crazy green. Wow.
Look at that little spinner.
That was a complex putt right there. Paul 2 for 2. Seppo joining the other guys. 1 down through 2. Hole 3. 440 downhill.
Ripping tailwind.
Yeah.
OB on your right.
You can say that again.
Yeah.
Ripping tailwind for sure.
And that kind of, it makes the shot more difficult, I think, for a lot of the backhand approaches, because it's harder to get the disc to stay on that ante line when
telling
you've got
me.
that tailwind.
Were you watching my round yesterday? Because I threw a fairway driver expecting it to turn, and instead I just crushed it like almost 500 feet. So, yeah, I've been hitting the gym.
So Paul, forehand, force plenty of distance, needs to hyzer a little bit. Wow.
Nice shot. Yes.
I mean, he's just smoothing that out there.
That's the play. He's got it, and that's the play. And yes, it is windy.
Wow. Seppo also opting for the forehand. So the tailwind actually helps the forehand get the distance you need.
Right.
It
Pushes
also
it down
does
the fairway and then kind of leaks it right.
It does bring into play that OB on the right, though. If you get this one on too much hyzer, you can skip right of the pin. Looks like Ricks needs to slow down. He's headed straight toward that OB, and it checks up.
Nice. Right. Yeah, he got that. He got a better soft skip. I know exactly what you're talking about with that big old flare skip. It looked like Eagle swung it out a little bit too far to the left, and that tailwind just kept it from falling in.
This is a difficult approach right here. To get the angle right, the basket is kind of nestled on top of a little crest of a hill, sloping down toward that OB. And with this much wind, you really feel like you need to get it close. Is he running this?
It kind of looks like it. I
Couldn't tell.
okay,
honestly.
yeah. I think
That
it
was a run.
Yeah, I think Eagle's got such good control with that long long spin putt that. No, wow.
Rolling back to him.
Ouch. I feel like when Eagle's trying to lay up, he's really, really good at laying up from distance like that. Great putt by Rick. So to see Eagle go past the basket 25 feet,
Yeah.
I think that was a run for
Yeah.
birdie.
Seppo taking his time on this 20-footer.
Yeah,
Good stick.
well done.
Another good par save.
Yeah, anytime you can, and especially anytime you start with 3 Circle 1X putts at the start of your round, I mean, it's kind of what you want to get the putter going. You're feeling good.
Can you explain the Circle 1X?
Right, any putt outside 11 feet. So like 12 feet to 30 feet.
Okay, so they're not counting the tap-ins.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you started your round with like 6 or 7 or 10 or whatever, just tap ins, it's like, okay, well,
You haven't attempted a Circle 1X putt.
right. I haven't made a real putt in like 2 hours. This is gonna be fun. Not. Speaking of fun though, hole 4.
Love this change.
Yes.
Really
so do
love
I.
this change.
Yeah. They put a new sleeve a lot shorter. So now for the MPO, we're playing a par 3 that comes in at about 415 feet to the right of that bunker.
And the great thing about this hole is
Right.
that the gap is late. The gap is late in the
Yes.
shot.
Whoa.
Wow.
Paul getting some elevator action. And man, he put the heat on that one.
A little too much hyzer, and the wind probably didn't help that. Couldn't really tell where Paul's finished. Ricky's got his a little too flat.
And so we're throwing like across the golf fairway, perpendicular to it almost. And we're throwing across the open. Oh, wow. And then into the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
And so these guys, it looks like they're just trying to stab it right at the tree line. Just I don't even know. Like, they're not beating around the bush. they're
No, they're
hammering
not.
it into the bush.
No, flat to hyzer, straight through the gap. Wow.
Like that.
Gets the love it needed. He's inside 20 feet.
And again, they were facing a pretty stiff right to left crosswind off the tee.
Yeah, and you're kind of teeing off from like one little pocket, and then you're finishing in another pocket. So sometimes
Right.
it's hard to get a read on that wind. Paul's putt from 55 just getting slammed down.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And this into what looks like a direct headwind.
And there we go again. Seppo is doing work. Great birdie. That's a tough one.
Yeah, how was this whole playing?
Well, making me seem silly. It was the 14th most difficult hole on the course. It did average under par, so
Really?
yeah, Seppo,
It felt hard to me.
Better have eagled or birdied that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Eagle is actually putting with that Metal Flake MD5 right there. It goes to show you how windy it really is, even in that protected little cove.
Eagle and
Good
Seppo with
birdies.
the birdies. They were really the only two to like penetrate into that tree line, as you can see by our sweet graphics. Hole 5, one of the 2,000 footers on the course, and this is actually playing as the hardest hole on the course. Why do you think
no
that is?
surprises.
What
I
do you-
mean, there's just
what do you
so much
think?
space. There's so much air space.
Right, yeah,
AJ.
where do we start?
You know, and when you're throwing downhill like this, it exaggerates your miss so much.
For
you know, if
real,
you hyzer
yes.
it too much, it's just gonna keep hyzering. And there's actually OB down there left. This is looking crushed. Wow,
That's how you-
that
that's how you
turned
gotta
over
play it.
late. That was angle mastery. Wow. One of the furthest drives I've ever seen on this hole. He's down in the bottom. Let's see if Eagle has anything to say about that one.
Right, yes.
PD2. Oh, see, that's just a little too turned over.
Oh.
Enough that it's going to
Unless?
roll into a perfect roller? The Eagle McMahon roller outdrives Seppo, and
Nice.
Eagle says sick
He's
shot.
like, "Ah, sick shot. Yeah, right.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So Paul sees that, and he just goes low, rips it on hyzer, flips
Yes.
up the flat. Look at that thing just scooting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're throwing into a straight, you're throwing into a headwind off the tee, but then your disc starts to fade, and then it turns into a crosswind. And I think, I mean, there's like an art to throwing into headwinds, and I think the secret here that we see from, I mean, really all 4 players is that they just fully committed to their shots.
Yeah.
And the only mistake, air quotes mistake, that we saw was Eagle, and he overcommitted. But man, these 3 players, I mean,
They're
4
in a-
players, they just threw something nice and overstable and really committed to that low line.
And they're all in position here.
Exactly.
The approach is not easy by any means. You got to carry this green right here. There's bunkers
Right.
on the right, and then the basket is up on this little mound.
Yeah, great basket placement. Paul a little bit early, comes up a little bit short left, but really there's a little bit of deception here too. Like
Yeah.
if it almost feels like the green is pin high with, or the basket is pin high with the back of the green, but really it's almost 50 feet past that. And this looks great.
Wow. No reaction off the ground. Just sticks it. That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he had such a great line on that one. Just finds the lushest part of that little depression. Rick looking good too. And he finds the same
Are you
little...
serious? The same?
Yeah, how does it stick? It's because it's at the bottom of the... All the water's collecting there. Dang
I mean,
it.
they hit within 5 feet of each other.
Oh
and
my
both of their
gosh.
discs didn't move a muscle. It's crazy.
Well, if you guys are watching this,
Seppo
you've probably
is-
already played round 2, but Rick, Eagle, just throw it where Seppo threw it, and you'll get that little play off the cart path.
Seppo was so far up that fairway. Wow. Another layup from within circle 2. And Rick as well, just not even messing around with it. Those are 2 players that you really don't see lay up
yeah.
very often.
2 players that make some of the biggest putts on tour. But Seppo, he's starting off hot on the green.
Oh no.
Too hot.
He knew it. Out of his hand. It's wide. It's high. He's got a little bit longer of a putt coming back, it looks like.
Uphill and with a little bit of a headwind.
No.
And this is Macbeth from par. No problem.
And that's got to sting. That's got to sting a little bit more than your normal bogey when you're so far down the fairway. You're in position for birdie and the dreaded 3-putt, AJ.
Right. But really, I mean, what's he gonna do? I mean,
He's
two
got to
guy-
go
the
for
two-
it.
Yeah, the 2
Yeah.
guys that laid up before him, I mean, they were a good 20, 30 feet behind him. So what, you're going to lay up a 30-footer?
Oh no, it doesn't. And he can't stick it for the single bogey.
Ouch.
Oh, that really stings. I mean, when
A little bit.
I love it when the players lay up behind me, because then it gives me free reign to just lay on up.
Okay, all right, all right.
This is layup party today on this hole.
Yeah.
It's when they stick those putts right in front of you that
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
no.
oh, I can't
Okay.
lay up at all. You
Yeah,
know.
You got a good point there. Ouch.
Good looking par putt from Paul.
Seppo back to even par. Paul 3 down through 5. That's where you want to be. And we're moving into hole 6. Hole 6 is pretty interesting. There's this middle tunnel fairway right here.
There are also a lot of players are opting to go hyzer outright.
Correct. That's what I did.
Nice.
And really, it's a par 4. It's about not 1,000 feet, 644 feet. So 2-shot hole if you can do it to get up there for the birdie. And really, I mean, right back into the headwind, you're just trying to get yourself 350 feet down the fairway, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So whichever way you can do it, whether it's the confidence in this tunnel shot, which Eagle, it looks like he's got fairway. A little too confident, but it does kick right into the middle of fairway. So
yeah, I mean that shot is tight, and I'm kind of surprised to see Eagle throw the backhand right there. I feel like that left tunnel shot is kind of calling for the forehand, and you pick one of those late gaps and get out into the fairway where you can approach the pin, or you just throw it all the way through the gap.
Yeah, he lasered it through that initial gap, but
A little too much hyzer, and he's
a little too
off
high,
into the
yeah,
short
a little
left.
too overstable. Yeah. Oh, careful, Rick.
Looks like Rick's also going up the middle. Oh, and it finds one of the gaps. Not the intended line, but it split.
I mean,
and he's out in the
wait.
open, and he's going to have an approach.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was trying to flex it through that early gap there, but yeah.
So this is layup territory right here. There's not really access for the birdie from this distance.
Especially when he's pinned up against this log pile. There is a bunker. I think there's like 2 bunkers and a green and an OB wall on the right side and short. So yeah, smart play from Eagle. Oh, and Macbeth is in some trouble as well.
He's deep in there. He's also just laying up.
Yep. Nice and safe. And Rick finds himself in the right where you want to be.
He's prime time. He's got 350 to the pin.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely thrown that shot before.
Yeah.
That was nice.
He's starting to figure those destroyers out with that forehand.
I thought you were about to say he's starting to figure that forehand out.
No, it's really, I've been talking with him a little bit about, wow, great reaction to stay inside the circle right there.
That was a committed shot and a great result. So, what was Ricky saying about?
Oh, Rick's just,
destroyers?
I've been talking to him why he hasn't thrown as many forehands, and he's just saying that he's still working on it, still figuring it out with the destroyers. He
Gotcha.
He learned with them, but for so many years he's been, throwing overstable enforcers and stuff. So it's kind of changed the way that he's approaching his forehand, and he's really starting to figure it out. That flat to hyzer shot.
So you're saying that everyone else should try to beef up their game too, because he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. No pun intended. Great shot by Paul Macbeth. I think he's in the zone. Oh man, that's a great birdie by Seppo.
That is a
And
great
Rick.
birdie. Fortunate birdie too for
Those
Seppo.
are tough into that straight headwind. I mean, hole 6 was playing as the second hardest hole yesterday.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of danger. There's even danger around the screen. I mean, that bunker right there is inside the circle and it's a hazard. There's OB right.
Yeah. And then we're going into the second change on this course, hole 7.
Yeah, they backed this one up and they made it a true par 4.
Yes.
Last year
Rick
it was-
ties it up with Paul. Nice.
Yeah, last year this hole was like one of those untouchable par 3s.
Right. I think
backed
there
this
might have
one
been
up.
1-2 on it the
Yeah.
whole week. But now we're backed up 579 from tee to basket.
Pretty short for a par 4, but
Right.
they did factor in that a lot of times you're playing into a headwind, and
Right,
yesterday
yes.
we were playing into a direct headwind, so it
Straight
actually
headwind.
I would say that it made the hole like 200 feet further. Maybe.
Almost, yeah. It was, yeah, and you can hear it. But yeah, OB on the right, and then just a wall of trees short right of the basket too, which is a pretty common collection area. And Rick going with one of those Star Destroyers again.
Oh, it's a great
Yes.
angle. And that's the angle control that we were talking about in the wind, not exposing that nose, keeping it flat.
Exactly.
Wow. Just powering right through the wind.
That might have been an X1 from Seppo. That's how much wind we got here. That might have been the X1 instead of a D1.
Overstable force. Oh, the wind is just going to work this one. That's headed OB.
A little bit too much torque and not enough spin, I think.
That's out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big mistake on this relatively simple par 4.
I'll say. I mean, and...
No.
Oh, he's doing it too. Chill. Oh, that might have
I
stayed
think
in.
that was OB.
I'm not seeing an OB graphic, so...
Paul's was definitely OB. He's throwing 3, and this is a dangerous shot right here because he's having to swing this wide out over the OB, and if it doesn't come back in, it's a stroke and distance penalty.
Mm. And I think he's safe. Oh, and this looks like it might...
Okay,
Eagle
so
might have gone out of bounds
Eagle
too.
was OB, and he is also choosing to go wide. Such a dangerous approach.
Uh-oh, and that's low.
That needs to skip.
It never came in.
No.
Oh, and he's saying that it never came in bounds. Probably hit the wall.
Oh no, that's worst case scenario. It's an absolute rethrow. He's calling a provisional just in case that other shot is in bounds.
And this is high enough, but it might be wide. But no, okay, it's got the distance.
He makes the correction. Wow, that is a big mistake by Eagle McMahon.
That's rough, yeah. And really from, I mean, I guess now seeing that Seppo's throwing the sidearm into the green, that's what I was expecting out of all 4 of these players was just a nice, long, straight throw that tails off to the left, opens up that sidearm gap. I mean, you can, if you can't hear the wind ripping, I'll tell you again, it is strong.
I mean, for it to turn over Paul's force and then Eagle's PD2 back to back like that, you know it's got to be strong.
Well, and then you know that those 2 golfers have to be strong as well, because those are overstable discs.
Wow, that was a great view for that putt. You could just see the arc in that one.
And Rick is strong too with the putter in his hand. That was way out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like the wind was blowing left to right, so if anything, it was going to try to push the disc down. And he hit the band. Oh, Seppo. From
Missing
just
right
outside
again.
the circle. Yeah. And here's that tree wall I mentioned earlier.
It's a pretty tricky putt for par. Out on one knee. Oh, wow. What a stick, really. I mean, that was like Heisering left and still caught.
He definitely put it on the left side. I mean, yeah, like you said, that was a difficult putt, but a good hit and a really good catch by that basket.
And a great par save you see right there. I mean, if so, we missed. Did we miss Eagle's putt, or did I just miss
I think so. Yeah,
I think we missed his
but
putt
he
for
also
6.
he missed his putt too.
So
but let's check these graphics
He taps
just to
in
figure
a
it out.
7, and that's the difference. So Paul and Eagle were both OB. Paul gets up and down. Eagle does not. Has to rethrow. Takes the triple bogey 7 on hole 7.
Yeah, and thank you Marissa Martino and Casey Johnson for helping us out with these shot-by-shot hole graphics. Without you guys, we wouldn't know what the heck just happened. But here we go, moving on to hole 8, another par 4 with the infamous bow tie OB in the middle. You got to either make your choice. Are you laying up short, going for the middle river, or are you really strong and you're going for the inbounds area past the second wall? It looks like Rick's going for that OB river, the bow tie in the middle, and I think he's square in the middle of it.
How far is it, do you think, to clear that OB, that first OB?
The first OB, I believe,
415 feet to carry.
I'm pretty sure it's on the T sign here, and I might be able to pull it up. Yes,
got some
it
stats
sure
for
is.
us.
Yeah, so it's about 332 to clear the second OB line.
Okay.
To get inbounds, and playing a little bit uphill into a headwind, it's going to play like 380, just to get past the OB line that Rick and Paul have gone past there.
Eagle taking a deep breath after that 7, going over stable max. This is probably one of the most dangerous holes on the course.
It definitely can be, especially since, again, we're going into a straight headwind. But it looks like all 4 players have put themselves right in that middle inbounds bow tie. Wow. And they have a chance to attack the green from there.
That's a huge forehand up that hill into the wind. Just takes so much power. Well over 425 feet of power to get all the way up that hill.
Oh, yeah. I would say on flat ground, they're maybe, again, they're about 370 to 380 to the basket. But then, yeah, just going uphill, headwind, elevated basket again, OB to the right.
Yeah.
OB deep left as well. I mean, this is a tough shot to commit to.
It's going to circle it.
Yeah, that was
great
amazing.
shot from Seppo. That's a little low, but on good angle.
Good angle, plenty of power. Well done. And Macbeth leaked his out a little bit to the left. It's a tough putt, 40 feet. Almost a death putt with that elevated basket and OB right behind.
Oh, he was actually pretty close to the OB right there, too. I mean, within a few feet.
That's true.
Doesn't really give that one a chance. This is a 25-footer for birdie 3. Really the only option after the last hole is to do exactly that.
Well done. Good bounce back. Strong putt. And hole 8 comes in as the 4th hardest hole of the day. Not really for this card, though. It looks like we're going to see 3 birdies and 1 par. Most groups were averaging 2 bogeys.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
With all that OB, yeah, makes sense.
3 birdies and a par. Just make it look so easy, just the way that Seppo just smoothed that hyzer up there.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess everyone should be taking notes. That's how you want to do it. And whenever you can go hyzer, birdie putt on a par 4,
do it.
You're gonna be pretty happy. So might as well work that into your game plan. And yes, one of the signature holes on the course, hole 9, 747 feet.
Yeah, 747. But believe it or not, this one's gettable.
It's gettable for sure. We're going way downhill with a tailwind.
Yeah, this card is definitely thinking 2.
They're attacking.
Yeah.
Yes. Should be fun.
Ricky is going to take this boss that we saw him ripping on in Utah. He's going to start this one out on just a little bit of angle if he can. He's asking for it to turn a little bit.
Just a little.
This is just carrying and carrying.
That's a fine
What
kick. Wow.
Is that? That is
almost like
pin high on the 747 foot. That is absolutely the furthest one I've seen. We saw Paul get close last year, but he was short of it. We didn't see anyone pin high or deep.
Seppo with the D2. And again, like Rick, throwing it nice and low, trying to match the angle of the hill. Clean.
Just keeps pushing.
Wow.
Eagle gives it up. Tells him, nice shot.
Maybe 35 short. A little bit left, but got about a 40-footer for Eagle 2.
This is ridiculous.
It's awesome.
Can we get any closer? Come on, Eagle. PD2, low and rib.
Low rib.
He's got it on.
Miss those.
Little turn. Oh, and it does.
Bounce off that tree again.
Oh, same little reaction.
Wow. Just as long as Seppo's, but other side of the basket. So we'll see if that wind comes into play.
I would take a Kong right there, and it just needs to keep turning.
Playing for that late hyzer flip. Oh, wow.
Without question. the 4 best drives that have ever been thrown on this hole on the same card.
Wow. For real.
Everyone is putting. This is a true par 4. My approaches are 300 feet. This is awesome. Someone's cashing.
Hope so. They're all circle 2, green and extra regulation.
Seppo, a little too much angle on that release.
45 for Macbeth.
Wind just holds it up in the air, misses high. Ricky's our last hope. I'm feeling pretty good about it. AJ, how are you feeling?
He's got that vintage straddle stance. I'm feeling good too.
Come on.
Yes!
Wow. He does it. He comes through for us.
Hell yeah.
The Eagle 2. Just the casual wave to the crowd.
Yep.
Pick up my AVR.
And this was the easiest hole of the day, but Rick had the solo eagle for the
wow. That was it.
For the division. I guess you could say it.
I mean, it's truly special that all 4 of these players off the tee on the 747-foot par 4 are thinking eagle, and they all gave themselves opportunities.
Yes. And they're all going to birdie. And then some. Superstar frame.
So we go 5 down on the hole 9.
Yeah, 5 down. Jeez.
What a way to end the front 9. AJ, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Look forward to watching the back 9 with you.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky 6 through the front.
That's good. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Make sure to click on the back 9 video and join us for some more amazing views. This turned out to be a beautiful day, and we got some really good golf.
Yeah, great coverage, too. Subscribe to the Par Safe Productions. I'm really enjoying this video right now.
Yeah. All right, catch you on the back 9.